AEW Revolution saw AEW at their absolute best for pay-per-view, and yeah, they never failed to deliver on the big stages, but this felt like even more, probably, I'd argue actually that this is probably even the best AEW pay-per-view since All in Texas last summer. And yeah, from returns to debuts to quality of wrestling, this show had everything you would possibly need as a wrestling fan, and also hit all the preferences a fan has. So for this review, it's going to be a little bit different to usual. Instead of going match by match by match by match and like fading in and out as per match, I'm just going to kind of just sit here and talk at the camera, talk about Revolution, talk about how bloody awesome it was. And yeah, hopefully this change might, help aid the algorithm a little bit, but also give like a fresh feel to these reviews going forward. On the 0 hour, we saw a fun battle royal that did bleed into the main show a little bit. Trust me, this won't be the last time we mention blood. But Jack Perry would win his second piece of singles gold in AEW as he became the new national champion. We saw Willow Nightingale see off Lena Cross, who she would then meet later on in the show, but she would retain the TBS Championship, which makes absolutely perfect sense and would be a catalyst for what would become later on. And then Boom and Doom, Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall defeated the Infantry in what was a fine tag team match that felt like it was just there, to be fair, but yeah, it was fine for the 0 hour. It just, all the build happened in Ring of Honor, so I didn't see any of it. So it was kind of weird for a pay-per-view match. But again, it was 0 hour. I can kind of forgive it to a degree. The first match on the main card saw FTR defending the World Tag Team Championships successfully against the Young Bucks, and they have had their fair share of battles, have the Bucks and FTR, over the past few years, but I thought this was their best match against each other so far. I know that a lot of people prefer the Full Gear match, but yeah, this for me was absolutely fantastic. It was a ding-dong battle with all blood and family and a lot of stuff involved that kind of helped this match not feel too long, but also not feel too convoluted as far as how many times these guys have wrestled. But yeah, unfortunately, after the match, we did see the return of Adam Copeland, which is a bit of a shame, I'm not going to lie, but it was followed swiftly by a return I have been waiting for so long, in the return of my father, your father, everyone's father, Christian Cage. And yeah, very happy to see Christian Cage come back. I'm particularly bipolar when it comes to this team because I can't stand Adam Copeland, but I'm a massive fan of Christian Cage. So yeah, I'm hoping they kind of have their challenge for the World Tag Team Championships, whenever that'll be. I assume it'll be at Dynasty because Canada, pretty much. I memean, a lot of stuff now going on in AEW will probably be because Canada, which wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, I feel like this is, it's a dream match in it for tag teams. It's Cope and Cage versus FTR. I wouldn't surprise if they did maybe a triple threat with the Bucks as well, or maybe they just did a match with the Bucks on a Dynamite. But yeah, we kind of get these dream matches out of the way, and then Christian Cage can turn on Copeland again, and then Christian Cage can go back to being back to being Father Christian Cage on a full-time basis, and then things will be just much better. But following that, we saw Marina Shafir and Toni Storm have a decent match. Nothing particularly special about it, but it was overshadowed by a debuting, and I cannot emphasize enough how awful this is. We saw Ronda Rousey appear after the match. This concerns me greatly, as yeah, last time we saw her in wrestling, it wasn't great. The first time she was in wrestling, it kind of ended really badly. She's talked about how fake wrestling is openly multiple times, and yet she still ends up in a wrestling ring. It's very interesting. I get the point of helping Marina Shafir. They are real life best friends, but yeah, I'm hoping this is just a one or two off appearance. But yeah, in the women's division that is getting to a really good point right now, we really don't need Ronda Rousey around. And yeah, as I said, it concerns me greatly. But as Marina Shafir was leaving, Jon Moxley came out, and yeah, my goodness, this was a great match. I loved Takeshita versus Moxley. I kind of changed my opinion on it from a great match to fantastic match upon rewatch. But yeah, these two had a great battle back and forth. And yeah, I think there was a good showcase of attrition, of stamina, of hard-hitting affairs. And yeah, Takeshita and Moxley beat the absolute piss out of each other. And yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that Takeshita didn't win. Once again, in my predictions, I didn't back my personal preference, which was Jon Moxley, and it always will be Jon Moxley in AEW. I decided to back Takeshita instead. But yeah, as I said, the match was fantastic. I can't say enough good things about the match. Definitely go check it out if you haven't watched it yet. It is brilliant. And also, the whole no time limits thing made it suggest it was going to go quite long, and it wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be. I thought they were going to go to like 45 minutes to an hour. It didn't feel like it was that long. I didn't look at the actual match times, but yeah, it didn't feel like the slog that I thought it was going to be going into the event. So yeah, and then afterwards we saw a big return. Then, after 7 months on the sidelines, one of my personal favourites, one of the best professional wrestlers alive today, Will, by God, Ospreay, returned to AEW. I am so excited that he is back. Yeah, with All In on the horizon as well, which I bought tickets for yesterday. Very exciting times. Yeah, you've got to believe that world title is going to be in his very near future. And yeah, I think it sets up perfectly for him to be away for 7 months, returns, have a little bit of a run, has his feud with Jon Moxley, and then goes to Wembley and wins the World Championship. I feel like that would be a huge year for Will. I am very excited to see him back. I know that my matches of the month are going to be full of Ospreay matches going forward, which I can't wait to just watch and then rewatch and then probably rewatch again. But yeah, very excited to see the Willie go back again. Following that, we had the newly christened Divine Dominion, Megan Bayne and Lena Cross to become the new Women's Tag Team Champions. Very happy about this one. I did on my, as I talked about before, on the channel over on the GKO Wrestling website, I talked about how these two would become great champions eventually and have the aesthetic, like almost the perfect aesthetic for a champions. And yeah, now that they are Tag Team Champions, couldn't be happier. I've been wanting Megan Bayne to win a championship ever since her match with Toni Storm at Dynasty last year. 2 years ago? Last year sounds right. So yeah, very happy with how this one turned out. Swerve and Brody had a good match. It was better than I expected. Swerve winning made perfect sense, but when he brought the Cinderblock out, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I kind of thought that Keith Lee might come out. I thought maybe we're going to get this, like, after having so many returns and debuts earlier on in the show, I thought, why not bring back Keith Lee? And I'm telling you, if Keith Lee does return, I know it's kind of unfortunate that I have to say if he returns, but I feel like it will be a generational pop. I feel like I don't think anyone in the world of wrestling will boo this man if he were to return. I feel like he's such a beloved superstar, and the fact that like his train of thought. The reason that he's been out for so long is due to illness, and it has been career-threatening. If he is to come back, it would just be massive for wrestling. And yeah, I really do miss Keith Lee. And yeah, it's a shame that we only had him for like a few years when he was at like a top level, and like even then, it wasn't like the top of the top level. But his NXT one was generational. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of. I just thought he might show up. But yeah, we got Kenny Omega show up, and he was the one who made the save for Brody King. And as much as I like the fact that we're carrying on this feud of Swerve and Omega, because I know that these two can absolutely go in the ring, it did make me question why Omega versus Swerve wasn't just on the pay-per-view. But I'm glad that Brody King got a match on a big pay-per-view as well, so I'm not really complaining about Omega and Swerve not being on the pay-per-view, but yeah, it was kind of a little bit confusing. But I'm glad that Brody got the match instead. Personally, I didn't think the 2 out of 3 falls stipulation fit Statlander versus Tekla very well. Maybe it would have been better as like a street fight or a no DQ match, or maybe even a 3 Stages of Hell match. But yeah, I feel like that would have been a lot better off. I feel like it suited Tekla and Statlander's styles a lot better if it had just been another ding-dong battle, a bloody affair, that kind of thing. I feel like would have fit them much better than 2 out of 3 falls. I did want Statlander to win. I don't know what it is about Tekla. I am a fan of Tekla's. I do like her a lot. But the aesthetic and the promos and stuff like that, it just doesn't give Women's World Champion to me. I feel like she would have been better off winning the TBS Championship, and then doing what she's doing now would have fit a lot better. I don't know if that makes sense to people. Hopefully it does. But I'm very happy that Tekla is World Champion. I feel like it's something that they could work on very well. It just, the promos are kind of weird. So it's... yeah, it doesn't feel like the top of AEW. So, yeah, I was kind of hoping that Statlander was going to win the title back. Plus, I'm Statlander is like in my top 3 women's wrestlers right now. So yeah, it might be a bit of personal preference there, but yeah, I thought the 2 out of 3 falls match was fine. It wasn't a bad match at all, do not get me wrong. It wasn't a terrible match or anything like that. I just don't think the stipulation fit these two as well as a more extreme or hardcore stipulation would. The Trios title match it absolutely cooked. It was a fantastic match. It was such a fun match to watch. It was arguably one of the best matches on Revolution, which I did not expect at all. Jet Speed are so good. I kind of weren't bothered about these two at first coming together, even though I'm a big fan of Speedball Mike Bailey, and I didn't really know Kevin Knight that well. But yeah, these two come together, and over the last, what feels like months and months and months of these two tagging now, they have become so fluent in the ring. And yeah, the fact they put in Mystico, who obviously is a top luchador, and yeah, all the styles just fit together so well. The Don Callis family losing the trio titles won't hurt them at all. They're still in top positions, plus Fletcher and Okada are still champions either way, even though Okada should definitely defend and lose that international championship. He is hurting that belt more than he realizes, and yeah, I want to get back to having a not only prestigious international championship, but one that's like the workhorse championship, like it was when Orange Cassidy had it, when Will Ospreay had it, even when MJF had it, and when Roderick Strong had it. So yeah, I really want Okada to lose that international championship. I'm kind of hoping now that he loses it to Takeshita. I feel like that would be a really cool match for maybe Double or Nothing, maybe All In, so I could watch it live. But yeah, absolutely fantastic trios match on the card. Definitely go check that one out. It is fantastic. The other trios match, I know that the Andrade and Bandido match was before this one, but I thought I'd talk about the 2 trios matches together and then go on to Andrade and Bandido, so do forgive me for that. But yeah, the other trios match was good. But it was like only good. I had all they all had decent showings, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy to see David Finlay in AEW, by the way. I am a big fan of his. He was probably one of the reasons why I was trying to watch New Japan all the time, was because I wanted to see more David Finlay, but now he's in AEW. And also, New Japan is really hard to keep up with in the UK, so I failed at trying to do that twice, but I'll watch Wrestle Kingdom every year either way. But yeah, no, I thought that the Dogs should have won this match. I feel like they needed the win more than Darby, Orange, and Roderick Strong. Obviously, Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy can lose and win whenever, and their positions within the company will never be affected because they're 2 of Tony Khan's boys. Not in a negative way. They're just 2 very reliable wrestlers who are very, very good in the ring. So yeah, kind of expect a little bit more out of that trios match, especially as it was Tornado. But yeah, the trios title match was absolutely fantastic. The other one was good, but just not as good as I thought it was going to be. Then, moving on to Andrade versus Bandido, and it was an incredible showcase of Lucha Libre. I think people forget how great Andrade is. I feel like this current run has really been reminding people how great he is in ring. Bandido is one of the best in-ring wrestlers right now, in my opinion. He has had a fantastic 2025, and I expect him to carry on the momentum going into 2026 as well. This match delivered as expected and was absolutely awesome, and another one you should definitely go check out. And yeah, one of the biggest highlights of the night again. But oh man, the main event, it was insane. It was crazy. It was loco. It was mental. And it was everything I love about Texas Death. We had barbed wire, we had chains, we had a needle, we had glass, we had an exploding table. It was nuts. And yeah, are you not entertained by all this? I know some people are maybe not into the extreme stuff, and I totally understand that, and they didn't like it. But man, I absolutely loved this match. Obviously, for me, it was match of the night. For me, it has been the best match of the year so far. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Yes, it's not for the weak-hearted, but you should definitely go check it out anyway and just keep your eyes closed at parts. But yeah, Hangman can no longer challenge for the World Championship, which is unfortunate, but is not the end of the world. People that think that Hangman is now going to leave AEW and go to WWE are silly. Very simple. He's not going to go to WWE. He is the face of AEW, apart from MJF. Like, these two are, AEW through and through, AEW 1 and 2. Hangman, MJF. So yeah, he's not going to go anywhere, in my opinion. He's going to stay exactly where he is. But also, he can have main event caliber feuds, main event caliber matches without going for the World Championship. Look at his feud with Swerve Strickland. That wasn't for the World Championship. It wasn't anywhere near the World Championship. And yet it was main eventing pay-per-views. So yeah, Hangman is not going to be... it's going to be, I think, difficult at times not to put Hangman in the world title scene, but yeah, I feel like that it's not going to affect his position on the card. It's not going to hurt him at all. I don't think there's anything to be worried about. He just won't challenge for the World Championship, but there's still plenty of other championships. Hell, having beat Okada for the International Championship and then just having gone a generational run with that belt to make it prestigious again. But yeah, this was... Yeah, I feel like they really added the heat onto MJF by having him kind of celebrate on top of a Hangman Page who was on a stretcher. Well, that worked out very, very well. And yeah, I feel like this MJF reign is going to be really, really great. I can probably see him holding it till All In at this point. And then he maybe loses it to Ospreay. But Ospreay versus MJF 2 at the same place with their first match. And their first match was absolutely amazing. Like, yes, please. I'll absolutely watch that again. But yeah, no, I feel like this MJF run is going to be great. I don't think it's going to be as long as the first one, but yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how MJF goes through this world title reign, because I think he's just going to have classic match after classic match after classic match, and it's going to be seen as one of the best runs of a world champion in a very long time. So yeah, those are my thoughts on AEW Revolution. It was such a good show. It was absolutely fantastic. Like I said, AEW back at their best. An incredible pay-per-view. And yeah, what a way to start off the year for AEW. Especially when the first, January, February was very slow to get started with until we got to Grand Slam. Yeah, this was absolutely great. I mean, you could get a lot of stuff out of this show that could just last the whole year, which is awesome as well. But yeah, I cannot say enough good about this pay-per-view. But yeah, I'm interested in what you guys have got to say about this one as well. Do comment below your opinions of the pay-per-view, your opinions of matches specifically. And yeah, I'm interested in what you guys have got to say about this one. There is also a lot of stuff coming up on the channel already on the channel. There is 2 videos going through my cards I'd like to see for WrestleMania and Stand and Deliver, so do go and check those out. Of course, there's this one. There is my top 10 matches from Revolution on the channel already as well. And my mind is going blank over what is actually coming up. The 3rd episode of the Retrospective will be out this week. They'll be covering the whole year of WWE in 2003, so do check that out. I've got a lot of good things coming up as well, so do subscribe, do stick around. I know I can't tell you specifically what they are, it's because I've forgotten what they are, which is terrible on my account, but I probably should have looked beforehand. That is on me. But yeah, say the 3rd episode of Retrospective, these are pretty good documentary style videos. I'm spending a lot of time watching a lot of wrestling, so I watch every pay-per-view from the year. So I watched every single pay-per-view in 2003, 2002 and 2001. Those episodes are already on the channel, so do and check those out. 2003 is out at some point this week. I think it's on Wednesday or Thursday. So yeah, do subscribe, look out for those. They are very good. I do suggest you go watch them, obviously. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.